Namaste. Hi there, beautiful souls. Welcome to Tuesday Live Readings. I'm just getting my cards ready.
Do you hear that? That's the sound of your new bra. This is Lotus.
Let's turn off that ad. Sorry about that. So today I'm here to do live readings, as I am most Tuesdays at this time, 12 p.m. Pacific. And each Tuesday, I look for some inspiration through the moon, through the energy of the present astrological cycle. One of the journals that I work with, I don't use it so much as a journal as just a book of inspiration, is the Wee Moon Journal. And below in the description box today, I typed out part of piece, the beginning of a piece called Resurrection by Vulture. And there's a couple of Samhain poems and different things here about the season of fall in this journal that are just amazing. And so I really wanted to reflect on this. And so I created a quick 3-card spread based on this energy of letting go, this energy of being in synchronicity with this season of fall. And for those of you in the Southern Hemisphere, maybe this isn't the right spread for you, but those of you that are in the Northern Hemisphere, this is definitely in sync with, this would be a great spread to do at this time. The thumbnail, it's so interesting how this all comes about. When I was searching for an image for the thumbnail and I actually put in the word vulture, one of the pictures that came up was this place of spaciousness. And part of me was trying to figure out why I felt compelled to use the spacious tarot, other than that it's just finally arrived and I'm excited to use it. And so today I want to embrace this whole sense of spaciousness. And while the leaves, I'm just looking outside, are shedding from the trees, and things around us are dying and shifting and changing, can we also be in that same stage? And can we learn, and can we grow, and can we understand, and can we be okay with death and dying? And so as we walk this week towards Samhain on Sunday, I think this is important. It's important to release, to let go, like the deciduous trees that are all around us. So that's my intention for today. So I've put together a 3-card. The first card is basically about, what is it that is in our highest interest to be letting go of, to let die, to release. The second card is, well, if I'm going to let that go, where does my focus need to lie? Like where should I, center my energy? And the third card I titled Beauty. So this is about understanding the beauty of this transformation. And sometimes it's really hard to see beauty in death, beauty in letting things go. So this is what I kind of want to play with today. Random thoughts, I know. But I love these reflections, and it might be a little too serious for some people, but I'm all about connection, connection and living in the flow and living with the cycles and so forth. So I want to say hi to those of you that are here already: Donna and Joel and Janine and Hannah, Elizabeth, welcome, and Andrew. Put the glasses on so I can read. And Hannah, you use Wee Moon as well too. And Mary Beth is lurking at work. Okay, cool. Alrighty, so I'm going to do a group, a reading for the group, just kind of play with the spread. And there's a few things that really, really spoke to me in this piece. So Hannah, is it Hannah who has the journal? I'm just looking. Yes, Dancing Soul Sister, you have this journal as well too. And I type part of it below in the description box. So if you want to read along, you can read along. But there's just a few things that feel really important to kind of emphasize here. Resurrection by Vulture. Imagine a world whose creation myth begins not with light, nor even with darkness, but with a vulture picking clean the bones of a dream we finally admitted was dead. Our own magic destroyed us in the end. Humanity couldn't rule after all. Our own bodies betrayed for us. But the vulture, with her naked head, her naked face, the comforting tent of her black wings, discreetly enfolding our dying. There is no shame in a body, no shame in our mistakes. That really speaks to me, the no shame in our mistakes. Shame tends to live at Manipura chakra, the solar plexus chakra. And sometimes there is so much shame in failure, so much shame in, I want to use these words because they're so beautiful, admitting that our dream is dead. Her body, the body of the vulture, is a crucible that destroys every foul pathogen. She comes to cleanse the earth of its suffering. She comes to ingest our unfinished stories. I love that. She comes to ingest our unfinished stories, the sweet intentions of our lies, and the meat of our devouring, the wounds of our losses, our shapes that once cast shadows. She comes to recycle them into muscle and wing and remind us they belong to the universe. Yes, this is our time of belonging. Imagine a world whose creation myth begins with letting go, letting the ugly vulture unbind our beauty, letting the form unwind, letting her prepare us to become the earth. From her nest on the highest cliffs, she digests us and watches the release of our remains, now available for new nourishment. She's going to live a long, long time, as vultures do, because they eat truth every day. And for all the 1,000 ways we resurrect into new lives, new worlds, out of the green, heedless fronds of the earth, we are also living up there in her wings, forever, in the absolute stillness of her flight on the skies of forgiveness. In the absolute stillness of her flight on the skies of forgiveness. So beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle, and the first card is about letting go, releasing. So if that piece didn't call in the ancestors, I don't know what. I don't know what will. It's kind of nice to have a smaller deck, you know, like poker size, or these poker size or bridge size. Interesting. Okay, so the release. This is the release. And perhaps this is an expectation that at this time there's a need to transform into some great spiritual being. Maybe it's okay to be on this side of the doorway. So perhaps what needs to die is the longing to be on the other side. For those of you that view the judgment card as judgment, you know, self-critical, being self-critical and so forth, that is also, you know, a possible more mundane interpretation to let judgment die. And we can use those words in a spiritual way as well too, you know, that we judge ourselves if we're not spiritual enough. So it's time. It's time to let go of that. Where our focus, this is very strange because you saw me shuffling, you heard me shuffling the cards. And these are the two cards that I talked about earlier today. I'm a little bit, I want to say confused here, especially the order that these cards. So we're letting go of judgment and we're embracing the wheel. So right now, the wheel is inviting us to let things die, to be in the Northern Hemisphere in a time of death, in a time of waning. The moon is also waning right now. And so to really focus on that, to focus on becoming quieter. Last week, I promised myself that I was going to mark out a time on my calendar for my practice of silence. And so I've now marked it on my calendar. I'm going to give myself only a little bit, but it's a start, from 4 p.m. on Sundays. I'm going to enter into silence until I wake up on Monday morning. So this is really, really quite something. What is the beauty in all of this? Oh my God. The beauty in all of this is death itself. And you can personalize this in any way that feels right for you at this time. But the beauty here is one of, I want to say, honoring death. And this is such a gorgeous invitation also to do whatever preparation that you want to do for Sunday and Monday, if you celebrate Samhain, as the end of the year. Now, different people interpret the wheel of the year. There's beginnings and endings all over the wheel of the year, but for a lot of people, this is the end, right? This is the death. This is November 1st is a fresh new start. And so the beauty, wow, I'm kind of speechless. So take some time to contemplate that. And I'm going to put these cards back in the deck, and then we can do some personal readings for some of you. I want to keep this in the back of our minds, though, as we go ahead with the readings for today. Okay. Liz is here. Hello to Liz. Welcome. Andy, namaste. Did I miss anybody else coming in? I'm sorry if I missed you coming in. Welcome to everybody. Okay. So go ahead and you can let me know if you would like me to do this spread for you, or if you have another question that you would like me to deal with. I'm just going to go to Joel's comment. I did this spread you made today real quick. And how cool is that the first card was the Tower? That is very cool, Joel. That's beautiful. Great. And I just purchased my Wee Moon for 2022 as well, too. So I have it. I have it already. I can start looking at some of the poetry and so forth. Oh, and Andrew, you have worked with Vulture energy. Yeah, kind of beautiful. Glad you like the poem, Hannah. Yeah, and do you know, what this reminds me of, Donna, is that I would like to create and I haven't found the right container for it yet. I'm actually looking for a larger book like this with plain pages so I can create my own book for bibliomancy. And I would use some of the pictures, the art, and the poems from the wee moons with a bunch of other things as well too. I would love to take some time to create that book. Well, isn't that interesting? Okay, so those of you who are Spacious Tarot fans, if you didn't know that, thank you for that, Elizabeth. There are, so Donna, there's so many ways we can interpret this. And your interpretation here is really beautiful as well, too. Which is much more in alignment with everything that has been coming through this past few weeks, especially with the various archetypes that have shown up in the Facebook group. Right, so that would roll with, we need to, in releasing the old life, we once again return to the circle, to the wheel, and we find the beauty. We find the beauty in death. We find the beauty in death of the old life. Okay, and thank you for the super chat, Tammy. I will, for sure, I will get to you. I'm just going to do, I think, one before you, Tammy. I don't want to miss some of these early in the chat here. Yeah, looks like the ancestors are here. Oh, that's wonderful. All right, so we're going to start with Elizabeth, and Tammy, I will get to you probably after tarology, okay? Thank you for your patience, everybody. All right, so I'm going to mix these cards in. But I have a feeling these three cards are going to make a showing today. Okay. Just gonna get my hair out of the cards. That's weird. Oh, I did want to say one thing as well too. So those of you who have purchased or have enrolled or joined as a Rose Quartz member, please make sure to contact me, because as a Rose Quartz member, you get a 15-minute personal check-in with me each month. And of course, you can bank those 15 minutes. But don't forget to reach out if you're ready for your session. Okay, holding love light around Elizabeth as we do this spread for her. Okay, so the release and the letting go. So the first card is the Elder of Pentacles. I just had an overwhelming whoosh of a mother, a father, a strong figure in your life. And not so much, yeah, Andrew said the ancestors are here, not so much as forgetting, but knowing that you can stand just like this bear on your own, and that strength is within you. Um, Gosh, I need to find some words around this feeling. It's almost as if they want you to let them go so you can understand your strength. Ace of Cups. And perhaps without releasing a piece of this, without releasing this yearning, this longing, this sadness, are you, I don't know, are you grieving? Are you, whew, um, there is new love, there is new emotion, there are new opportunities that that cup is being offered to you. It feels like a blessing. Oh my goodness. You know what okay, this is again, I really need to go with the flow of these readings and be with the art. And I haven't looked at the chat because I want to focus on what I'm feeling here. That Four of Cups to me, it looks like the whole family, the family of four, sitting together on that rock, having a picnic, being in nature, being with the flow of life. So the truth is that even though you spend less time dreaming and thinking and um, perhaps focusing on any regrets connected to that relationship, those relationships, they're always with you. They are there right beside you, always in the flow of your life. And perhaps with that Ace of Cups in the center, they are waiting for you to embrace a new relationship as well too, or to honor. I see a light in that Ace of Cups. Maybe there's a new light in. There's a new light in the cup. Okay, I'm going to go to the chat and just see if you've said anything here. Okay. Well, Elizabeth, I have to go with so there's definitely an ancestor, a very strong ancestor on the other side. And let's think about this. And then also I'm picking up on letting go of the need to be everything to everybody. Letting go. And there's this ancestor is very present. This ancestor wants to support you in letting go of the need to be everything to everybody. And perhaps that is a cup that you are offering to yourself. It's really, really beautiful. Yeah, it's really beautiful. Okay. Let's go to Anna. How can I completely let go of my ex-best friend? I think I miss her sometimes, even though it was getting toxic. Okay, so how can I let go? How can I let go? Okay. What I want to offer, Anna, from a perspective of practice, is that to employ as many different strategies as you can. And for me, the practices and the rituals really do work. And her relationship, as you're aware, I can tell by the title of your the title of your channel, right? So you do this kind of work. You know that relationship was there to teach you something. It was there to show you something. And perhaps what it was there to show you was to heighten your awareness around, or to become more aware of toxic relationships in your life. But I'm sure there was much, much more to it than that. But what I'm saying is that the rituals, the practices are really, really important. Taking a photograph of the two of you and burying it, putting it back into the soil. Perhaps taking an emotion of the relationship that felt unhealthy, writing that emotion on a stick and burning that stick at Samhain. Sometimes we need to do multiple practices to let challenging things go. So I'm not doing the spread for Anna. I'm going to do 3 cards to focus on the how, or if there is more to this story that we need to be aware of in Anna's release of her relationship with her ex-best friend. This is Temperance. Okay. Interesting that I should mention fire, Anna. And there was something about fire I was talking about today. I had out the Star Seeker Tarot, and it was the Judgment card in the Star Seeker Tarot that really, really drew my attention. And that's what I'm feeling here for you. I'm feeling that the energy of fire is really important in this transition. In case you don't know which card I'm talking about, this is the Judgment card. And there's something about the release and the flames in this card that feels like an important message for you. And I'm aware this is Temperance. So perhaps by bringing in the element of fire, you can do that, of course, with candles, spice in the food, and so forth. This will help to burn through some of the energy. Thank you for the super chat, Alistair. Okay. I'm shuffling again. I'm not sure why. Shuffling again. I'm going to pull 2 more cards for you, and we're focusing on the how of letting this friendship go. And I also want to say by choosing the opposite. So sometimes we have to turn 180 degrees and practice doing things differently. Wow. Okay. So the Explorer of Cups to me is just what I said. It's like exploring or connecting with emotions that you haven't connected with before. It's so funny. I'm picking up on a Little Mermaid vibe here. You know that scene where you go into her little secret place where she hides all of the things she's connected from the human world? And she's so curious and so fascinated by all of these treasures. So what I see with it is this Explorer of Cups is a real um, uh, and there's a and I know this is not a page, right? The explorers are the knights, but there's an innocence to this, and there's a sense of wanting to try something new. It's really beautiful, really beautiful. Okay, so Seven of Swords. You see in this deck how there is that path that is clear. So this is a beautiful reading, Anna. So you take. I want to I want to invite you to take the best from the relationship. Take one thing from this relationship that you treasured, and then walk straight through that path and leave the rest behind. Now there is an opening in that gate, and it's time for you to take that high road and take the treasure and leave the rest behind. Okay? Okay, so we have Tammy and we have Andy. Okay, so I'm going to go to Tammy and then I will go back to, and then I'll go back up to Andy. Oh, thank you for that recommendation. Gouletpens.com is a good place for paper and notebooks. Okay, thank you for that. I'll definitely have a look at that. Okay. So Tammy and then back up to Andy. Tammy Ann, where are you from in this big wide world of ours? And I want to say welcome to my channel. Oh, let's go to Andrew's comment. I see the Ace of Swords and the Six of Swords. Ah, beautiful. St. Louis. Or St. Louis. St. Louis? St. Louis. St. Louis. I'm thinking of a song, Meet Me in St. Louis. Isn't that an old song from an old musical? All right, so this is a reading for Tammy Ann, and we are going to do the spread, release, focus, and beauty. Wow, this is really so. Okay. Did you ever observe the cones on a coniferous tree? And sometimes it's just amazing how the cone, some of the bunches of cones just stay on there. Um, where am I going with this? It feels like even in nature, sometimes there is a resistance to let go. And usually birds come along and they try to get the seeds out of the cones and so forth. And so there's a cooperation between the flora and the fauna in the shedding of the cones. There is an abundance of food in those cones for the birds, and also for growth, of course, of new life and new trees. And so, what I feel like this message is one of the more you give, the more you get. So, the more you let go of the material, the more that you will be fulfilled. This feels very, to me, very Six of Pentacles kind of energy. Really interesting. Okay, let's see. Let's see what else comes up here, and then maybe we can. All right. So the focus. The focus. Where should you focus your energy? I want to ask you a question. If you are, if there's mindfulness around your physical body, your wellness, are you paying more attention to your body right now? You know, like there's a sense of body energy in that first card, and the reason I'm going there is because that Five of Wands to me feels athletic, and so the focus is on, um, I want to say, fiery activity. Hello, Hazorfa. Have you ever seen? Of course, you've seen The Sorcerer's Apprentice. You know, the animated movie with Mickey Mouse. I see I see like these broomsticks dancing here in the fire. Something here, something here. What is the beauty in all of this? Ooh, Ace of Pentacles. Okay. You know that poem I was reading earlier? And it's not a poem, it's a short passage. Short piece of prose. It feels like there's an old story that needs to die. The beauty is that a new seed will be planted. So if you have been holding on, if you've been clinging to something that hasn't been working, if you've been like, you know, that expression, flogging a dead horse, right? Beating your head against a brick wall. It feels like it's time to let it die. It's time to release it. And you know something else I like here is that the letting go is the Four of Pentacles and the beauty is the Ace of Pentacles. It feels like that which needs to be released, you haven't invested that much time into it. So it will be easier to let it go. It'll be easier. This transformation won't be as challenging as you think it is. But the focus is on one of becoming more active, more vital, more vigorous. And I'm wondering if that dancing, there's something to that dancing. Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate it. Okay. So, food for thought, Tammy. Thank you. I'm really, really loving this deck. As you knew I would, Andrew. As you knew I would. This deck would also pair, and I think, did I do this the other day with the, I still haven't separated them. I need to separate them. Where'd they go? These ones. Take out the oracle cards from this deck and use them with the spacious tarot, because I think the medicine in this deck would be really, really good with the spacious tarot. Okay. And hello, Jamie. Welcome, by the way. All right, I'm going to go back up to Andy. Ah, belly dancing. Wouldn't that be fun? What was I talking about earlier? And I said, was that in the first reading about shame and shame being in the solar plexus chakra? And oh my God, one of my daughters used to belly dance. And she belly danced with a group. She was really, really young at the time, just really little, like 8 or 9 years old, maybe 10. And there were women that were in their 50s in this group. And it was really, really empowering. It was amazing. Yeah. Okay, so this reading is for Andy with a focus on, I need to read it, a big project that she is working on. Okay, so this central card is going to give us information about what is important in this project. The first card will help us to know what is not important in this project. And the third card will perhaps give some clarity on what the beauty, what the grace of this project is. Okay. All right, so this is the release. Okay, so what came through first, to release the need to be perfect. That was just a like it just came straight through. Release the need to be perfect. Okay, I'm not going to say anything else right now. Okay. The focus is on this is very interesting with that red rose and the moon card coming up. There's a lot of feminine energy here. So to focus on, I want to say to focus on the goddess, to focus on the femininity, the feminine energy, the divine feminine energy in this project, which will help. I mean, there's so many different layers here. I'm not sure what your project is doing or developing, but if you can allow because what is the moon card about, right? It's allowing the yucky stuff to come to the surface and being okay in it. It's about, and this speaks so beautifully to the first card, it's about understanding our wholeness and our beauty. And I don't like to use the word ugly because that's such a weird word, isn't it? But to understand that there's a beauty in our darkness, and that we can't be in the light without the dark. They are one and the same. So there's this need for perfection that is so unnecessary. There's a beauty in the imperfection. I guess that's what I'm picking up on here, if you're following me. Hey, Joseph. Okay, and Donna Thompson is here as well too. Okay, so what is the beauty in all of this, Andy? Oh, I spoke to this card earlier today. I'm going to say that this project has deeper connections and deeper layers than you are aware of. Look at that Justice card and imagine something coming to the surface and then just effortlessly dissipating as the ripples move to the outside. And I love that. I love that. It's just beautiful. Okay. Yes. Maybe I can write that down and have a look and see. I'm not sure that I haven't already done that, but maybe I can add that to the comparison series. If it hasn't been done, I will add it. It's written down. Okay. Okay. So let's step away from the spread for a moment. And love heart, let's I think there's a medicine, right? There's a medicine and there's a magic. There's something really beautiful in this season of clearing space. And with this kind of a question, it's really interesting. So across the way in the forest, so there's a row of houses and then there's a forest behind, and then somebody has a massive fire going, burning brush and so forth. Like it's ginormous. It's not a forest fire, it's a controlled fire, but interesting that I'm talking about transformation through fire and I'm looking at a fire, a large fire. What I want to say, love heart, is that to make sure that you are clearing space, that you are making room for the new relationship. It's important at this time to be, I think it is, I feel it is, to be in sync with what is going on in the environment. And if you are in the southern hemisphere, let me know, because that's a completely different part of the wheel of the year, right? Because those in the southern hemisphere are building and growing, and it's quite different. So let's focus on love heart, and I will pull 3 cards, and I'm going to ask what is next for love heart in love. Holding light and love around love heart as we explore this question. I'm going to put all 3 cards down and then kind of do my best to answer your question rather than answer your question in terms of okay, so how about this? The truth is that someone solid and stable, perhaps a little less exciting, maybe not, youthful and fit, but loving and dependable and full of skills is the truth that you need at this time. It feels like you need a rock. You need a rock. You need a teddy bear. You need a reliable teddy bear. And that teddy bear is waiting for you. Interesting what Andrew said. Andrew, I really feel that what do I want to say? No, I feel that all the different aspects of our lives are not unrelated. That the challenges at work somehow are mirrored and reflected in our love and so forth. I feel love that there's a deep connection. Perhaps because this is always about you, right? I know you're talking about another, but this is about you. And so in order for this dependable, reliable, solid relationship that you seek to come forth, it's important that your authenticity is really important. Hmm. So how do you feel about that, love? I don't see you in the chat right now. So let me know. Let me know how you feel about that. Isn't it interesting? It's so interesting how we all view different decks. Okay. Scrolling on down. Where are we at? Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna have to pause as we go through. This was a previous reading, sorry. That refers to a previous reading. It helps me if I just highlight some of the comments as I'm scrolling down. Okay. And then Elizabeth was talking about pairing this deck with another deck. And I think later on in the chat you said which one it was. Okay. I think I'm almost down at the bottom. I'm just looking. I know that, yeah, isn't that interesting? All three cards are angled like a mountain. The light on the outside. Maybe your next partner is at the top of the mountain. Maybe this is about connecting with spirit as opposed to a human partner. Okay. Okay, there we go. I found it. Hazorfa. Okay, so I'm going to go to Hazorfa, and I think this spread is going to work for that question. So let's kind of adapt the spread for your question. And Botanical Siren, hello to you. Welcome. Well, what would be in your highest interest to be working on at this time? So maybe not doing the spread for you. All right, let's just do 3 cards for Hazorfa and focus on their question. What should I be working on in my life? Let's hold light and love around Hazorfa as we explore what they should be working on in their life. Hazorfa, what is your pronoun? Can you please just type that in to the chat? This is pretty funny, Hazorfa. So I have another question. Are you in a relationship? Thank you. Are you in a relationship presently? To me, this feels like amplifying, there's a new word for you, amplifying your fiery side. I see fire in the Lover's card. I see the flames of fire dancing in that thread of DNA. So no, you're not in a relationship. One of you was talking about getting back into belly dancing. Hazorfa, this feels to me like something physical and active. Something also to enhance your, I want to say enhance your sexuality, like to make you feel, that Queen of Wands energy, to make you feel vital and alive, and that feeling of, I don't know, like there's this feeling of sweat on the skin that feels really good sometimes, like exertion. There's a healthiness to exertion. And so perhaps when I'm looking at the Lover's card, I'm always thinking about aspects of self that want to come forward to bring in balance. And whether this is talking about you doing something to attract a partner, I mean, that's neither here nor there. This is always about you and your own spiritual and personal development. So I want to say, to work on things that make you feel inspired. The suit of fire is about um, inspiration, not so much breath inspiration, but creativity as well too. So what creative activities make you stir your passion? What stirs your passion? And also, um, like, doesn't this feel like this is not a little bit of stirring up? This is a lot of stirring up. Like this is about taking risks. Um, it's about a lot. It's a lot of fire. And so I can see this also about putting effort into a relationship. There's so many different ways we could read this, and like Andrew was saying earlier, we cannot separate our how we are in our relationships from how we are at work and other places as well too. And then reading your comment, I would say, Hazorfa, to if there is an invitation to do something that you normally would not accept, to do something outside of your comfort zone, to go a little further than you normally would, to plan a trip, perhaps, to adventure beyond your community. I know we have to be careful when there's a lot of rules now, and it's still not entirely, everything is not entirely accessible because of the state of the world. But this is inviting you to really spice things up a bit. And it's funny, it's like I see chili peppers or something hanging there in that Six of Wands. I don't know what these are. It's not chili peppers. I think it's just a bow on the wreath. It's so funny. Yes, that makes perfect sense, Hazarfa. It really does. And to allow yourself to be a little to be more playful perhaps than you normally are, to let yourself have fun. Yeah. Okay. My God, this is a beautiful deck. Okay, where are we at? That's always a good piece of message. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the botanical siren. Oh my goodness, that's quite the channel name. The botanical siren. Wow. Okay. You have been. Okay, let's find another word for bad, because bad is so judgy, right? Let's everybody help the botanical siren find another word for bad. It is challenging. It is triggering. It is bringing up things that you don't want to deal with. Okay, so let's hold lots of love and light around Botanical Siren. And Botanical Siren, if you would like me to address you by name, you can put your name into that chat. Okay. Botanical Siren, I'm going to do this spread and see, focusing on your question and see if we can get some information from this particular spread to help answer your question. Okay. This is the release. This is the release. What this tells me is that subconsciously, maybe not subconsciously, you like holding on to the pain, or perhaps you are the kind of person that sees the cup half empty. This is about letting it's okay to let the ice crack. Wow, let's let this metaphor kind of take its own. It's okay to let the ice crack. If that lake breaks into little chunks, little pieces, what's going to happen? What's going to happen is that the ice will melt faster if we let it break. So what I'm feeling here is there's some resistance to going deeper. And what is underneath that frozen lake is your beauty. It's the lesson that wants to come to the surface. So the reason it's not coming to the surface is because you are frozen. So we need to help melt you. We need to help you melt. The universe wants you to melt. Gabrielle, beautiful. Okay. Botanical siren. Gabrielle. Okay. So what, friends in the chat, what you can do is to offer and this is so common, right? We don't want to let stuff go. We like to, because it's uncomfortable. And so, dear Gabrielle, being like truly embracing the discomfort is so important. And for me, that means lying down, feeling it in my body and saying, and just really listening to where I ache. and allowing that ache to come to the surface. And sometimes there's tears, sometimes there's shaking, and then letting it go. Like there's different processes, but if you have any strategies for Gabrielle to help let it go, then that would be. So perhaps one of the strategies is offered in the second card. This is the card of focus. Where should I put my energy? I should put my energy on the pearl. Okay, so what is the pearl? The pearl, right? I don't need to tell you what the pearl is. The aspect of yourself, this is the treasure, this is the gem, right? So the aspect of yourself that you truly love, focus on one spectacular quality that you possess and allow that to begin to grow. And it's in that pearl that you will find your wisdom as well, too. The ocean. So if you look at the ocean as the water that's underneath that frozen lake, and so the ocean has washed this shell ashore and it is revealing a treasure. It is not hidden. And perhaps that treasure is that pearl is the moon itself. Oh my God, this is so beautiful. So this is the focus. This is the release. This is the beauty. Okay, this feels a little bit like Andy's reading. Okay, welcome, Avash. Okay, what I'm picking up on here is that this is just like Andy's reading. Something about you trying to be too perfect. Does anybody else get this? Like in trying to be too perfect, I'm wondering if you have been trying too hard to please people. And the consequences for that are one of becoming, chained and burdened and restricted. You've been restricting yourself in a way that is suffocating you. Yeah. Sorry for the long pause. I'm just, and so the medicine here is to be in joy, to give yourself permission to be joyful, to play, to dance, to shop, to drink, to go out for coffee, to have fun. And yes, I don't want to hurt a partner. I want to leave. But that is hurting you. And of course, that is your choice. I want to say that I'm going to answer your question and then I'm going to leave you. I'm going to say that the universe is asking you, the universe is letting you know that you are unique. You are beautiful. You have the right to be happy and joyful and to be free. You do not need to be tied and chained to this relationship. In a traditional devil card, those chains are not locked. It is self-imposed. And so that card in the center with the pearl or the moon it's calling to you. It's calling to the individual in you to be strong. The high priestess is often on her own. The devil, of course, being Scorpio energy. And no. The devil is Capricorn energy. The devil is Capricorn energy. Earth. So we have air, water, earth. Air, water, earth. We have 3, 5, 15, 20. 20, which is a 2. Okay. Lots of compassion for you for sure. And I want to say take this in baby steps as well too. To give yourself permission perhaps to take up a hobby or to spend more time with a supportive group of friends to give you the courage to go forward with this. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you, everybody who has been here today. I have some. I do readings, Zoom readings, and in-person readings at home as well too. And I do have some appointments that I need to get to, so I need to leave you for today. I will come back next Tuesday and be doing live readings on YouTube, and we will be the day after. It'll be November 2nd. So what I would like to look at next week is and I also have to check into the moon cycle, but this next few days, and as we move through the weekend, really focus on the letting go. Focus on the winding things up. And I also want to say, like in that poem I started with, the stories don't have to be complete. Sometimes the completions don't feel fully complete, and let that be enough and let that be okay. All right. Now, tomorrow night. So tomorrow we have the Marielle group at 4:00. And then at 6:00, I'll be live in the Facebook group. And I want to talk tomorrow night in the Facebook group about different ways to pierce the veil, different ways to connect with the unseen. This is our archetype in the Facebook group this week. And so we'll be looking at that. I mean, it's just amazing how all these archetypes have kind of synced up with what is going on energetically in the world. These are randomly drawn, believe it or not. I have not handpicked these archetypes for certain weeks. Spirit is with us. Yeah. So thank you. Thanks to everybody for your super chats. Thanks to all of you who have joined the channel and supporting me in every way possible. It's just been amazing. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Namaste.